Let me now flip to the economy, talk about the economy. A lot of discussion about whether we are in a recession or not. So let's look at GDP, which is the broadest measure of the economy, total production that we do in the country. Everything from dental service to automobile production to cutting the lumbers, all the stuff that we produce, how are we doing? And the beginning of the chart shows the lockdown impact. We were stuck at home, economy crashed. Once the economy reopened, tried to recover quickly, and then it was positive until this year when it turned negative, slightly negative. Yesterday, new data came out and it was blue, meaning that it would turn positive again. But still on a shaky ground, because the next quarter could again be negative. So we don't know which way the economy will go, but you can say it's on the edge of potentially declining into a recession. If you don't believe that we are in a recession, look at your retirement portfolio. It's definitely indicating as such. Whether it is a stock market, I know that more and more people have cryptocurrency in their retirement account, everything is sinking, so your retirement account is diminished, evaporating. Another indication that something is not right about the economy. But the job market is one area where things are still holding on nicely. In fact, this is total number of payroll jobs. Payroll jobs are not people on commission income. Realtors are on commission income. Their income rises, falls, fluctuates greatly. But people who are receiving W-2 statement salary, steady income, this is how many people are receiving W-2 statement across the country. The number of jobs right before COVID, then when COVID lockdown hit, 20 million job losses, but with each passing month, more jobs, more jobs, more jobs, such that today we have record number of Americans receiving W-2 statement salaries. But in a sense, you would say, every year we should have record high, because we are in a rising population country. With more people in the country, we should always have record high employment. But we are only returning just now after all this COVID disruption that took place. Here's an interesting data point. At the beginning, Jeremiah mentioned where you're from, and I saw all this, Boulder, Colorado, Bloomington, Indiana. People are just typing in many places. So you can hone in on your area. So this shows payroll job growth in the latest versus right before COVID, March 2020. So, for example, Florida, easy to identify, is showing 5.6%. What does that 5.6% mean? It means 5.6% more job in the state of Florida today versus right before COVID. So huge job creation in Florida. Same in Texas. Green is good. Then you see a sort of darker red colors. Like Alaska is the dark red, Vermont is dark red. They're down significantly. And then orange is down, or darker orange are down. Maybe the yellow is barely positive. So you see your state, how it's performing. One thing to note is the following. State that reopen its economy sooner, like Texas, Florida, Georgia, Utah, they're doing well because they had more chance to create jobs. State that had a long lockdown, like Michigan, Pennsylvania, and New York, they're still down because of the lockdown impact. In fact, Pennsylvania had a very restrictive condition for realtors. They said you cannot do open houses. Realtors were screaming, what do you mean we cannot do open houses even when the economy was reopened? Because the governor of Pennsylvania said, no, that's dangerous. You don't want to do that. So Pennsylvania was the last state to be able to do an open house. So it took them quite some time, but they're down consequently because of that longer lockdown. Another thing to note is the following. Oil producing states are down. Alaska is negative. North Dakota is negative. Wyoming is negative. New Mexico is negative. Louisiana is negative. So anything involving oil is down. Texas is an exception because Texas is so well diversified. Oil is no longer their economy anymore. So oil producing states are down, which means that we are not drilling that much. And what happens if you don't drill? That means you are suffering at the gas station. So when you see high oil prices, it's because America is not drilling. America is going to Saudi Arabia to say, please produce more oil, which in fact we can say, well, why don't we drill more in America? But given that we are not drilling here in America, oil prices are high. And as I mentioned at the very beginning, high inflation means high mortgage rates. So one of the causes of higher mortgage rate today, you can say, is because high gasoline prices. All that filtering in, and we have slightly higher mortgage rates, which harms the housing market. Green energy, of course, is very important, and it will be for the future. But we have to recognize green energy is less than 10% of our energy. 90% is carbon. We cannot simply throw away the carbon energy right away. So we have to see what the right balance is. Why are we begging Saudi Arabia to produce more? I mean, European countries are going to Africa to say produce more oil rather than producing in Europe. So it's kind of a little strange condition. But right now, you see which states are up, which states are down, and also why oil prices or gasoline prices are so high, especially knowing that realtors drive much more than the general population.